And to begin, let's all keep our feet flat on the floor. You might decide to guide your knees inward towards the midline. And when you arrive, I'll invite you now to guide attention to all the places in your body that are connecting down to the floor. Begin to scan your body, recognizing all of the effort and energy it took to bring yourself to this practice today. You're welcome to soften your eyes, close, or maybe flutter your eyelashes together. And if it feels safe here, begin to tune in to the quality of your thoughts. Taking a mental inventory of all the thoughts that are moving through your mind. Notice how you are showing up to this practice today. And as you arrive with the thoughts in your mind, begin to turn attention to your breath. Without any need to force or change the breath, begin to recognize the natural shape of your breath. And after you spend some time getting to know your breath today, begin to create an intention or an idea or quality that you'd like to harness or cultivate for your practice today. And if you find an intention, take your hands together, just finding a little bit of friction between the palms, rubbing the palms together, creating warmth. And perhaps guide this intention that you've created and send it down over your heart, taking your palms down to your chest. And ever so gently release your arms and begin to shift them over your head. No need to extend through the shoulders. Find a little bit of softness here. And then reach for the right wrist. Guide it over to the left, just a little bit. And when you're ready, slowly start to reach your legs on the floor and then shift the legs over to the left. Working to find the slightest bit of sensation in your body. Some folks might Choose to cross one ankle over the other. Or if your shoulders are feeling any tenderness tonight, you might lower one or both arms. Begin to send attention to the right side of your body, perhaps observing how the breath is moving in the right side of your body. This practice of yin invites us to draw awareness inward, allowing any sensations to arise. The practice of yin is passive and cool. How might you soften tension throughout your muscles so that you can feel more allowing here, more passive, more able to draw attention inside? Take note of the places in your body that are connected to the ground. And see how you might soften around the edges of these places, inviting your body to feel heavy and quiet. After a few moments, begin to check back in with your breath, recognizing that you're breathing and recognizing that you are safe. Let's spend 3 more breaths here together. And when you feel complete, slowly, with very little effort, begin to shift your arms back to neutral and unwind your legs. You might spend a breath here, extend your arms over your head, breathe in. And when you exhale, relax your whole body. Begin to now reach your right hand over to the left wrist and shift it over to the right, finding a little bit of opening through the left ribs. And then again, the legs follow, reaching the legs over to the right, choosing to cross an ankle. How does this side maybe feel different than the other? If your shoulders are feeling tender, you might guide a blanket beneath of them for additional support. Take this time to reorient your brain, naming any sounds you might hear through your ears, witnessing the temperature of the air on your skin, and perhaps sensing any tension held in your physical body. How might you cushion your body so that you can allow sensations to arise and pass? 3 more natural breaths. Sending attention perhaps to the whole left side of your body. And when you're complete, go ahead and neutralize the spine. Return your arms and your legs back to center. And take your arms off to the side. Spread your palms wide and then begin to close your hand, guiding the thumb to the palm, the first finger, second finger, third finger, and fourth finger. And gently release that effort. Bend into your knees and take your right heel over to your left hip. We'll then invite the right outer thigh to track down to the floor. You're welcome to guide a block or blanket under the knee. And then as you're ready, extend the right arm over your head once again, finding a little more opening throughout the psoas, the muscle that's connecting our hips up to our ribs. Take a moment to release any work, any need to control in your muscles. Invite your muscles to feel heavy and at ease. Bring attention back to the quality of your breath. Perhaps noticing how your breath might be lengthening and slowing down. Five more breaths, just as you are. And with little effort, begin to slide your right arm back down by your waist and unwind your right foot, placing it on the floor. Take a moment to integrate or notice whatever sensations are passing through your body. And before we move to the second side, we'll take a twist here. So cross your right leg all the way over your left leg. Inch your hips a little over to the right so that you can shift your knees down to the left side of your mat. I'm going to take a bolster under my knees tonight for a little more support. You're welcome to do that, or find any support that is nourishing. The arms might rest away from your body. Notice if you're holding on to resistance in your mouth or your eyes. And welcome a little bit more relaxation here. Acting as the witness and noticing whatever shows up for you in your body or your mind. Reconnect to the present space around you by opening your palms wide, spreading your fingers, and then closing your thumb to your palm, and then the first finger, second finger, third finger, and fourth finger. Begin to squeeze your hands, finding a little bit of tension through your arms. Maybe spend a breath here in and then release when you breathe out. Open your hands, relax your body. Once again, I invite you to recognize that you're here and you are breathing. One more breath. And with little effort, you'll slowly begin to shift your knees back through center. And when you're ready, release your right foot to the floor. Extend your arms down by your hips and find a bridge in between. So we'll anchor down through our heels, push into the floor, and lift the pelvis up. You might even send some weight towards your shoulders. And when you are complete there, move all the way back down. And now it's the left heel that will track over to the right hip and will allow the inner thigh to move over to the left. Left arm reaches over your head. Feel free to keep your elbow bent. Begin to evenly place the back of your body on the floor, softening through the back of the skull, the shoulder blades, the spine, and the hips. This practice of yin invites us to act as the witness, noticing what might be arising in our mind or our body as we're here in this shape. Perhaps emotions or tensions from your day are finding their way back into your mind. I'll invite you to hold space for these, allowing them to be part of your practice today. And ever so gently, you might be able to release the control of these feelings or thoughts. 'Heavy body here. For these last few moments, become aware of the back of the body once again. Imagine the back of the body were being cradled by a fluffy cloud, and all of the tension in your back is releasing into the buoyant support of the cloud. Three more breaths, just as you are. And at the end of your last breath, slowly, with very little effort, invite the left arm to release back down by your waist. And then you might guide the left foot to the floor, taking a moment just to pause, absorbing any effects from that shape. And then send the left leg all the way over the right leg, crossing one knee over the other. And then we'll open our arms out away from the body as we twist, guiding your knees over to the right. Taking whatever support you like underneath of your knees, perhaps even over your left shoulder. maybe a blanket, can help the shoulder space to feel nurtured and safe to relax. Honoring whatever begins to arise in your mind and welcoming the mind back to the present space around you. Imagine releasing any tension throughout the left leg. And this quality of softness moves up your left leg to your left hip, the left side of your body, until it works its way all the way up the torso, evenly placing the arms and the head, and releasing here. We'll find a little tension throughout our hands. First, opening the fingers, spreading the palm wide, and then guiding the thumb to your palm. The first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Squeeze your hands, inviting tension throughout your arms. Take a breath in and completely relax with your breath out. You might open your mouth, letting out a sigh or a gentle hum. Hmm. For these last few moments, begin to notice what you might be holding on to in your mind. Holding space for whatever arises and letting it naturally pass. From here, begin to unwind your body, slowly returning both feet to the floor. Take a breath in and open your arms over your head, reaching through your fingertips. And when you are ready, shift your knees in towards your torso, hugging onto your shins. And we'll find a gentle rock back and forth, still maintaining attention to the places in the back of your body. And as you feel complete there, shift over to one side, and I'll meet you up in a seated position. There's no rush. And as you arrive in a comfortable seat, just take a moment to observe the length of your spine. And slowly extend your legs now out in front of you. And we'll find a supported fold forward. So your knees are relaxed, your feet might sickle outward, and that's okay. I'm going to roll up a blanket tonight and place it behind my knees for a little more support. And then folks sometimes like to rest the head on a bolster or pillow. I'm going to also make a little bridge tonight, stacking my bolster over blocks. You're welcome to experiment with whatever feels best, and then slowly lean your torso forward. Maybe you guide the hands somewhere towards your forehead, inviting a little self massage there. Returning back to this idea of allowance, allowing the sensations to arise in your body and allowing your mind to be free of judgment or control. And if it feels natural for you and your body, you're welcome to fold a little deeper, maybe resting your head down on the bolster or pillow. Take a moment to guide both shoulder blades down away from the neck. You might even send attention to all of your vertebrae and your spine, visualizing each and every vertebrae evenly placed, supporting your body. And if sensation ever feels like pain or tingling or numbness, then it's a gentle sign that we've moved a little too far today. So give yourself permission to find a gentler, more allowing shape. Become present with any sounds in your environment, noticing the unique vibration of every sound in your environment. Becoming aware of any textures or temperatures around your body. 5 more breaths in this shape. Perhaps watching expansion moving through your body, breathing in and maybe releasing out, finding a little more room to feel nurtured. And at the end of your last breath, just begin to shift the head back up over the shoulders, and then very gently push into the bolster or support and lift back up. You can then remove your support, and we'll place both feet flat on the floor. Take your hands somewhere behind you, and we're going to move through a few reverse bridges. So pushing into the floor, lifting your pelvis upwards, and then down back to the floor. Let's do that 2 more times together. Inhale, lift the body up. Maybe send your eyes back, and exhale, release the body to the floor. 1 more, just as you are. And then returning up in an upright shape. And we're going to move now towards a little more through the outer hips. So finding a square shape. Take your left leg forward, and your left shin will come kind of parallel to the top of your mat. And begin to take your right leg and cross it over top of that. So we're working to find the right foot over the left leg. From there, invite in blocks or pillows under your knee. And let's take a breath in together. Lengthen through your spine, open your arms over your head, and then shift the left hand down, reach the right arm over your ear. From here, you might bend your right elbow and let the hand kind of just cradle the back of your skull. Perhaps you notice your body leaning forward or backward. See how you might soften the head as if it's being held and cradled by your hand. And let's take a collective breath in together through our nose. Let out a gentle hum. Slowly shift your torso back over your hips and choose to stay here or maybe fold forward, finding a little bit of sensation throughout your hips. We're not looking for anything too intense or anything that might distract your mind away from your breath. Become aware of sensation moving through your body. And over time, you might decide that the body is inviting you deeper into sensation, or perhaps it's welcoming you to release and find a little more awareness to the simple. Recognize that you are breathing here. Recognize you are safe. If you are folded over your legs, I'll invite you to lift your torso back up. And then we'll all walk our hands back and shift our weight back. You're welcome to take tiny circles in your neck if that feels useful to you, or maintain stillness. Three more steady breaths. Slowly shift the body back to center and shift your weight over to one side so you can unwind your legs, taking your time. Let's pause for a short fold in between sides. So spread your legs a little wider if that's comfortable. And we won't be here too long, but begin to reach your arms over your head and slowly hinge your hips forward, guiding the fingers somewhere out in front of you. You might notice your feet rotating inward or outward, and that's okay. Take a collective inhale and open your mouth, gently let out a sigh. Exhale. Once again, take your head up over your shoulders and lean your torso back. Take your legs back together and we'll find the second side. So your right shin comes parallel to the top of the mat. Left leg will shift over top, finding some sort of connection, and then filling in the gaps with support, blocks or bolsters or pillows. And then when you're there, you can soften your eyes, maybe down to a point in front of you or letting the eyelids close. Just get a sense for how the body might be bracing or holding on here. And then we'll begin to take our right hand over to the side, reach the left arm up and over your ear, slowly shifting over to the right. And then bend your elbow and cradle the back of your head. Maybe you notice your body leaning too far forward. See how you might shift your weight back just a little. One more breath here, opening through the left side body. And when you're complete, make your way back to a neutral spine and decide if you'd like to fold forward over your legs or stay lifted. You choose. Check in with how your experience might be shifting. Perhaps your body might be feeling a little heavier or softer. Maybe you notice more awareness of your breath, or perhaps nothing at all. Hold space for whatever is true in you and your body today. And from there, I'll invite you to slowly lift your torso and send your hands behind you so we can shift our weight back, resting here for a few breaths. And maybe for a different neck stretch, you guide one ear over to your shoulder and then the other. Three more steady breaths. And with little effort, letting the body move so slowly. Come all the way back upright and take your time to release your legs. Maybe give them a shake. And now we'll transition over to our hands and knees. Take your blocks forward if you have them tonight. If you don't have them, you can still use a pillow or any sort of elevation. We're going to shift back into a variation of wisdom pose, child's pose. So guide your big toes together, shift your hips somewhere back towards your heels, and then stack your elbows to the very edge of these blocks. The edge of the block that is closest to your head, and you might relax your head down to the floor. Your hands can rest somewhere around the neck or head. And of course, if this is not accessible or safe today, then find whatever variation suits you best. Recognize the quality of your breath shifting into your abdomen, around your chest, and releasing out your abdomen and out your chest. How might you support your body so that you can fully let go? One more steady breath, just as you are. And take your time, there's no rush. I'll meet you all the way down on your belly. And reorient your brain to this shape, noticing the front of the body now, connecting with the earth. Take a blanket over to the left, and we'll find a little bit of inner thigh opening by bending the left knee, supporting it with a blanket, and shifting it maybe 90-degree-ish or so off to the side. And then you might rest your head on your hands or a blanket. Return back to the quality of heaviness, inviting heaviness into your whole body. Here we are inviting heaviness into the muscles of the body, releasing any need to work or control. And by doing so, we're inviting sensation to the deeper tissues that make up our body, specifically the areas around our hips today and outer legs. Let's spend 3 more breaths here together. And when you feel complete from there, I'll invite you to release the left leg back behind you. Bend both of your knees and we'll just sway the feet back and forth. And when you are ready, go ahead and shift to the right side. So your right knee will come over to the blanket on the right side of your mat. Resting the knee on the blanket and finding sensation around the inner thigh. Returning as the witness without any judgment. Begin to witness all of the sensation that is present for you. Three more soothing, natural breaths. Knowing there's no need to rush, begin to guide the right leg back behind you. Take a moment to grow heavy and integrate. And then we will take the hands back by our ribs, tuck your toes, and find a little bit of hugging sensation in your core. Draw your belly in, and then slowly push up to table and begin to sit your hips back to your heels, leaning your torso upright. We won't be here too long, but if your ankles are tender, go ahead and sit on a block in between your ankles. And let's just take a moment to find shoulder circles, rolling the shoulders up to the ears, back, and down the spine. And then take a moment to pause in stillness and quiet. And before we make our way back down onto our mat, we'll stretch the arms a little bit. Extend your arms open off to the sides. Spread your palms up towards the ceiling. And then imagine leaning your weight back just a little bit, taking up some space in the back plane of your body. Stay here, maybe take a breath in. And when you exhale, begin to cross your left arm over your right arm, reaching for either shoulder. You can stay there. Some of us might decide to connect fingers or palms. Wherever you are, find a sense of release in your shoulders. Three more breaths in this shape. As you're ready, slowly open the body back up. Inhale, spread your palms up towards the ceiling and spend a breath or two here, releasing any tension across the collarbones, down the chest or sternum. And the next exhale you come to, we'll switch arms, crossing the right over the left and finding wherever the hands feel most comfortable. Some folks even get a little more sensation here by tucking the chin and kind of rounding the spine, finding a little traction in between their vertebrae. Three steady breaths. And slowly, when you are complete, open your arms one more time back out. And then release them down to the floor. Go ahead and come off of your block if you're using that, and shift down onto your back. I always recommend supporting the head and even the top of the shoulder blades with a blanket. That helps kind of reverse any kyphosis or rib protrusion. That's what I've learned. And then as you arrive on your back, extend your left leg out in space, lowering the heel down to the floor and guiding the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Letting the right knee shift off to the side, coming down to a blanket or whatever support you want. And feel free to take the arms wherever is nourishing for you. Reconnect to the feeling of the back of the body resting, protected by the floor and the ground. Begin to guide your right knee back up towards the ceiling and reach the right leg back out on the floor. And transition to the next side, taking the left foot to the inside of the right leg. Finding a little more opening sensation across the pelvis, the inner thigh, the leg. And if it is useful to you in your practice, you might visualize your spine, becoming aware of each vertebrae, allowing each vertebrae to be evenly placed on the mat. A few more moments here, reconnecting to the temperature of your body, reconnecting to whatever sounds or smells are present in your space. And when you're ready, take your time and perhaps move through any final adjustments or shapes you'd like before our rest. And today I'll offer a bolster or pillow under the knees, and that might support the lower back a little bit more. You're welcome to find any variation of a resting shape today. Maybe legs up the wall or laying on your side. Begin to arrive in the most comfortable and coziest position. And from there, spread your palms wide and then squeeze your hands together one last time, recognizing that you're here. And then slowly release, inviting the whole body to relax. Allow this time to be a place of quiet and rest so that you might integrate all of the work and energy that we created throughout our practice together. Soften the corners of the eyes and eyebrows. Relax your jaw and your chin. Evenly place your shoulders on the mat. And begin to invite attention down your arms, your spine, the abdomen, the pelvis. Draw awareness down to your hips, your legs, and your feet. There's nowhere you need to go and nothing you need to do but be present with your mind and with your breath. From here, slowly guide attention back to your physical body. The physical body resting still and supported. Draw attention back now to your intention or purpose for your practice today. Perhaps invite the breath to carry this intention to your whole body, from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet. And gradually begin to reawaken now, shifting through your fingers and through your feet. At your own pace, begin to shift the body over to one side, finding a few more moments of rest there. And then, when you're ready, shift the body back to a seated position. You might soften your eyes down to the floor or keep them closed. Take this time to recognize any shifts or changes in your body. Notice how you might feel different or better. And hold space with love and tenderness for the places that are unresolved or still feel the same. And we'll end tonight by guiding our hands over our heart space, finding a gesture of gratitude. Take a breath in, and when you exhale, lower your chin down to your hands. Thank you for sharing your practice together, for moving energy throughout your body, and for holding space. May you be joyful, may you be at peace, and may you be free. Namaste.